speaking of consultancy فانت شفت هيدا عم بيعمل consultant وهيدا عم تعمل consultant وهيدا عم بقدم على هالشركه وهذا عم بقدم على الشركه فخلص انا وانا فتن مثل حيلا شيء مثل لما واحد يبلش تدخين لما واحد يبلش سهر وقت واحد يبلش حيلا شيء بشوف الجروب شو عم بيعمل بجرب يلحق ومايند يو ات كان بي اون ا بوزيتيف نوت
مزبوط
عرفت
مزبوط tell me who you hang out with I'll tell you who you are
كل ما انت 10 اقول لك Hello guys, welcome to the first episode of Higher Take. We're so excited to start this journey along my co-host Walid. It's amazing how we met, how we decided to start this podcast, and I think that's an amazing opportunity for both of us to showcase what we have in our arsenal in case of the knowledge, in case of the awareness we want to spread. And we plan on, of course, integrating a wide array of topics that aim to spread, as we already said, awareness, and the main reason why Higher Take exists today. So that being said, I believe the two values, I want to say it from the first podcast. So the two values we're going to abide by are authenticity and transparency. And I think these are the key metrics that will assess and prematurely, I don't know the right way to describe it, but I think this will prematurely decide the fate of Higher Take and how long can we be credible with our audience and most importantly with ourselves. So Walid.
Maher, it's fantastic to finally begin this venture. I mean, we have been talking about it for a while and I agree with you. These are two values that are fundamental. I would say not only for Higher Take, but I would say for life in general.
Exactly.
These two values will apply on us, how we act, how we behave with people, how people will respond to you as well. So I'm really excited for this journey. We have been talking about it for a while. I'm looking forward for this venture with you.
What can I say, Walid? I'm looking forward as well. وبس هلا بدي احكي بالعربي بس كرمال يعرفوا and this will be a mixed language podcast. مش بس حنحكي بالانجلش, we're gonna mix because we Lebanese do the best at this.
Of course.
We mix, we speak English, we speak Arabic, we do everything. So Walid, بس كان بدي اقول نحن كيف بلشت الفكرة.
أكيد.
وكيف يعني عن جد كيف صارت هيدي البودكاست اجت into fruition. So basically نحن كنا بعنوت عند خالد.
مزبوط.
وكنت انت عم تحكينا هيك عادي عم تقلي انه انا بدي اترك شغلي بدي to pursue my own ventures. هلا انت بتحكي اكثر عن your ventures.
اكيد
هيدا وقلت لي انه خلص وشفتك عم تحكي مثل بحماس واكثر من حماس شفتك عم تحكي خلص بجديه وانت عن جد you want to pursue this. فانا تعرف كنا بسهرة وهيك وما كنا كتير يعني قد ما كنا عم نجرب نحكي سيريس ما كانت الانفايرمنت سيريس.
كانت سهرة بآخر النهار بس كان في هالديترمينيشن اللي عم تحكي عنها من وقتها. يعني انت حتى لاحظت بحكي
100% 100%. وتاني نهار انا جيت حكيتك وقلت لك ليك هلا لما نرجع على دبي بس بدنا نقعد لانه بالطريقه اللي حكيتني فيها انا appreciated it although برجع بقول كنا بسهرة يمكن ما كانوا السيركمستانسز مناسبين لانه انت بتعرف نحن مثلا بالسهر اذا بنحكي حدا و let's not lie about it. أنا وهيك بدبي إنه منشوف بعض بس إنه in social events
100%
بالسهرات وهيك. بحياتنا ما قعدنا بستاربكس we actually met وحكينا كل واحد شو الجول تبعه شو بده to achieve what's his 5-term year plan شو ال 10-year plan تبعه. that's amazing إنه كيف it linked up. واللي صار هو إنه حكيتك رحنا على ستاربكس قعدنا وبلشنا نحكي واللي لفت لي نظري من قعدة ستاربكس هي إنه بآخر القعدة بعد خلص يعني بدنا نفل You came and told me تعرف لو في كاميرا هون كنا عملنا بودكاست. انت قلت لي هيك وكان شيء يعني
ليك فيني تزيد على حكيك كمان. يعني نحن بالسهر كتير انا بحكي عالم وكتير اكيد سهرة وكذا مرة يعني حكيت بزنس مع عالم بالسهر ويعني عم شوف what they're interested in ومنقول during the event we want to do this. I want to sit with you another meeting and be able to discuss future plans, you know, for a particular topic. Either it's about opening up a startup, either it's about working on NFTs. كذا مرة حكينا عالم بالسهر بس الفرق وقت حكينا أنا وياك هقول لك هيدا أنا كلمة كتير بحبها شفنا passion ببعض passion نلحق هالمشروع وهالمشروع مش بس إلنا هيدا مشروع منحبه we're working on it but we also want to benefit our audience. This is something that from the bottom of my heart I love to do, and I love helping out people. Through this channel, what I'm hoping to do is opening up the mind of people, about different topics, and as the title of the series said, have a higher take. Have a higher take on life.
Exactly. That's why Higher Take exists.
Definitely.
That's what I mentioned earlier. Especially the values I said, مثل transparency, authenticity. That's what we want to achieve. That's what, that's why the reason we're sitting here today. So yeah, we talked at Starbucks. We discussed what we wanted to do, everything we plan on doing. يعني بعد ما قلت لي podcast, I told you that has been my passion. I'm not a Netflix guy. I only watch YouTube podcast. Shout out Joe Rogan, Logan Paul.
Milk Boys.
You're a fan of Milk Boys. اوكي خلينا نتفق
من الأول.
اوكي تمام. منيح عرفت هلا بالبودكاست مش لحالنا لما كنا قاعدين.
لا أكيد.
فوليد, back to the main topic. We're gonna dive deep دغري بالموضوع. قلت لي بدك تترك شغلك. انت بطلت تحس حالك، بطلت تحس انه وليد عنتبلي بيلبق لهيدا ال 9 to 5 system، لانه حسيت عندك a creative side you can capitalize on. وعندك كذا فنتشر، فخليك هلا انت تيجي تقول للاودينس شو هن الفنتشرز، كيف اجوا انتو fruition، كيف اجوا انتو existence، وشو هو الديسيجن اللي اكثر شيء خليك تقول انه لا خلص انا وليد at 24 years old بدي to pursue هيدي الكارير و I don't mind the risks associated بهيدا الديسيجن حياخده. انت بتعرف اليوم انه كل واحد لما ياخد قرار لو شو ما كان، لو هلا انت قررت تقوم، لو قررت تعمل شو ما كان، انا بعطيك انه ابسط اكزامبل بس كرمال انه نوضح الصوره انه كل شيء انت بتعمله في ريسك اسوشيتد.
مزبوط.
وسبيشلي بهالقرار اللي انت بدك تاخده في كتير ريسك.
definitely.
و they are on a high level.
definitely.
So
يعني
tell us.
يعني ماهر هيدا توبيك اكيد العالم، انا I think many people are scared of it. Should I leave my job? Should I stay? Should I continue with the system, the safe path that's always there? And I would say it goes back to the person about how he feels, how he's able to plan, what he has in mind, what are his passions, what he wants to follow. هلا أنا لقيت بس a small background about myself. صار لي أنا بدبي أكثر من 3 سنين بشوي، صار لي عم بشتغل 3 years at a consulting company وتعلمت كتير منها. أنا يعني كتير انبسطت و I learned a lot. It allowed me to develop these savings، لأن أنا وقت تخرجت من الجامعة خلص رحت على دبي متكل لحالي، لا متكل على أهلي، لا متكل لحدا من عائلتي لرفقاتي، فولي على حالي من أنا ومتخرج. فهاد 3 سنين it allowed me to develop the savings, have this amount of money to be able to follow what I love. Now, why did I decide I want to leave my job? I wouldn't say the main issue is the 9 to 5 or whatever. The issue is bigger than that. It's I can work from 12 to 12 وحتى بالشغل بعد وقت بشتغل هالقد وبعد وقت أكتر، بس عم بشتغل بشغلة هل بدك أنت تشتغل فيها؟ هل هالشغلة أنت مبسوط فيها؟ Working for a corporate firm مش غلط، وبالعكس يعني in some cases in a lot of cases all our friends بيشتغلوا، يعني 80-90% of our friends بيشتغلوا corporate. It is the system that has been developed for centuries. من أيام اللي بدك العالم تشتغل مع شركات with big companies. That's how they grow, and it's not wrong. And maybe at a later stage in my life, I could get back to that.
It's always there, and it's there to stay.
100%. It's not going anywhere.
It's gonna be here. No, yeah.
It's not going anywhere. So I think after I built the fundamentals, so I got my skills. عملت networking. I know lots of people. تعرفنا عليهم through so many events that I've been in Dubai. I've raised the capital, and I believe حتى the most important part, mentally, I'm prepared.
You are. You believe you are.
Yes,
that's why you're taking this decision.
I believe I am mentally prepared, to take this decision. انتبه أنا عم أقول لك ما عندي source of income تاني. عرفت؟
Let's be clear about it.
100%. And I don't have another source of income. What I want to do is give myself 4, 6, 8 months, maybe a year, to try and follow my passion, try to follow what I want to do.
I think it's very important to highlight, and you said something very important, and that is, you're mentally prepared. Some people take this decision وما بيكونوا mentally prepared. They just feel peer pressured. They just scroll through social media بشوفوا إنه هيدا عمل flip ل NFT أو لشيء وعم بيطلع ملايين ودغري إنه spontaneously they act, which I don't think is very mature to do. بس أنت لا, maybe because you, as you said, you gained experience, corporate work, a corporate firm. خلص صار عندك هيدا الديسبلين وانت بدبي بتفيق على 9 بتخلي الشغل على 6. You know what it takes to achieve a goal. You know what it takes to set the metrics to have a project successful.
Definitely.
So that's very good that you highlighted this, which brings me to my second point. هلا انت you tell me this maybe because we're of the same age. أنا بفهمك وأنا one of the reasons why I'm here is because I ride the wave of how you're thinking.
How we think 100%. We're aligned.
100%. بس هل يا ترى أهلك their point of view كمان revolves around إيه وليد أنت you are mentally prepared أو إنه لا نحن we've been living in the system especially because we come from families. I will assume, and I think you've told me before, إنه لا your dad has a 9 to 5. I don't know if your mom works, but إنه they've been in the system and thank God
الحمد لله
we're all like مرتاح وما في شيء يعني مضايقك والحمد لله انت هلا بدبي. It's a great city, it's a great place to be, especially from where we're coming. So هل هول الريزنز بخلوا اهلك يقولوا انه لا وليد خليك بس سيستم هيك عم بتعيش عم تظهر عم تعمل اغراضك عم تعمل امورك اشتغل عليهم سايد هاسلز بس لا انت باخر الشهر بدك انكم كرمال تضلك بدبي لان انت بتعرف هون اذا بتبطل تشتغل معك شهر وبعدين بدك ترجع على بلدك. هل هن عطوك دي سبورت الفل انه عمول لا انت اللي بدك اياه او they showed tough love وبعدهم لهلا منهم كتير مقتنعين بالقرار اللي انت بدك تاخده؟
ليك السبورت اول شيء كتير مهم عرفت وقتها خاصة from the family and of course let me say I come from a humble background مثل ما قلت. my dad specifically worked from a 9 to 5 9 to 6 job, worked really hard to get us where we are today. And definitely I appreciate that. And the support he has given me throughout these years are unparalleled. And surprisingly enough, I got the support from him.
That's so good.
That's I was very happy. He supported me. He told me, Walid, follow your passion. Take for yourself 6-8 months to a year. Try to do what you want to do. And I hope you achieve it. You have my full support. Getting the support from my parents is definitely a very positive push forward. But let me emphasize on something. Thankfully, my parents were supportive. That shouldn't be always. That isn't always the case. يعني بركي في عالم وين أهلهم بركي ما يقولوا لهم خذوا هالريسك. أنا بأي شخص conservative. He knows it. I know it. He's a conservative type of person. Nonetheless, خلص حط ثقته فيا قال لي وليد جرب زبطت معك perfect ما زبطت
تعلمت.
you would have learned from it a lot
100%.
بس خلينا ما بس نركز على الأهل لأن support can come from friends, can come from relatives, can come from anyone at all, spouses if you're married. Not my case يعني بس يا انه كل هالسبورت يعني بيفيدك بس بعد وقت ما حتلاقي هالسبورت. انا في عالم قالوا لي عالم كتير قراب لي they told me Walid this like don't leave your job, stay, خليك keep on getting that income, keep on getting that money that's keeping you that quality of life, you know what I mean. بس أنا
static quality يعني إنه بتتحسن مثل ما كل هالعالم عم بتحسنوا promotion this like standard
again يعني أنا I disagree with them بس what they're saying is not wrong. خايفين علي of course they're scared for what might come. أنا it's a risk وأنا عم أقول لك it might work out وإن شاء الله it will. If it doesn't it's fine, I would have learned.
I know it will work out for a reason.
إن شاء الله ماهر. بس لأن again يعني بعدين بفوت بالفنتشرز اللي أنا عم بشتغل عليهم. عم بشتغل على 5 different ventures فإنه إن شاء الله بيزبطوا. بس again يعني even if you don't get the support of the people you love the most, okay, if it's something you really believe in from the bottom of your heart and you're really passionate towards it, in my opinion, my very humble opinion, you need to follow it. You need to try at least. You don't want to reach a stage in your life where you're on your deathbed and you're like, I wish I tried it.
صح.
Try.
Because at the
Give
end of
it
the
a
day,
shot.
I agree fully with you. لأنه at the end of the day, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%.
Like that's a cliche quote, I know, but you know it's true. If you think about it, it's true. And that's the way we should think. Because some people, I feel like, إنه لا ما بدي جرب لأنه it will not work out. How will you know? Are you afraid that your friends will judge you if it doesn't work out? At least you're trying.
You need to try.
And if you fail, it's a
You need to be
redirection.
proud. You need to be proud. وبعدين speaking of quotes, أنا كتير بحب Gary V كمان. بيقول لك take a step backwards to take a step forward for the rest of your life.
أكيد.
يعني هيدي أنا كمان quote. أنا I'm a big fan of Gary V and the mentality how he supports people. Again, this could be a bit extreme sometimes, but the fundamentals of it, the core of what he's saying is very inspirational, I would say.
أكيد. لأنه كمان speaking of Gary V, دايما بقول إنه life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So basically بالmarathon, بس to dissect it for the audience to know more about what I'm talking. So basically بالmarathon أنت you pause, you take breaks. It's not like a sprint وخلص بدي أوصل أول شيء.
No.
Mind you, it's important to work effectively and in an efficient manner, but it's always important to take into consideration إنه لا أنا لازم أوقف مثل ما قلت أخذ step back شوف كيف في يحسن شوف شو بيزبط لإلي what works for me and what doesn't and that's how you succeed لأنه أنت ما فيك تنقي شيء واحد وتضلك فيه وتقول لا أنا I'm not gonna be successful لا بدك تفوت طاحش شوف هون
بدك تجرب
بدك تجرب
يعني
I think that's the most important word we should use.
And I tried many things throughout these 3 years. I always believe I've had this entrepreneurship spirit. أنا أيام المدرسة بتذكر يعني من صغري عمري بركي كانت 10th grade 9th grade. It was maybe the first kind of small entrepreneurship. أنا كنت عم فوت بضاعة من أمريكا أبركرومبي أند فيتش لو بتتذكر أيام أبركرومبي 100% ما كان فيها بلبنان. It wasn't there. فأنا كنت فوت شنطين 3 وارجع أنا بيعهم لرفقاتي.
لأنه كنت تحب تعمل هالشيء ما كنت تحسه شغل.
كنت passionate.
بس في عالم
يعني
هلا عندهم
part
time هيدا الشغل هو تشحين بضاعة.
100% فأنه من أنا وصغير أنا I try out يعني حتى أنا وكنت عم بشتغل جربت e-commerce. عرفت جربت كمان هلا كنت عم جربت NFT وبعدني بالNFT ف I tried many things يعني I've seen what I like the most and I decided to go ahead with it. خليني امشي بهالموضوع.
Well said, Walid, well said. That brings me to my second point actually. I'm starting to like the chemistry we're building.
لا من الأول
إيه لأنه هلا هيدا السؤال كان بدي أسألك إياه and that was what was coming next يعني. أنت كل حياتك كنت عارف you're gonna follow this route لنقول أو لا هلا لأنه شفت حياة الشغل وأنت عن جد إنه ما كتير كنت مبسوط هلا آخر 3 سنين
أبداً
أو أنت لا من أنت وصغير مثل ما كنت عم تقول إنه لا بتقول لا أنا في تشانس بعدين أترك الشغل وأعمل شيء on my own. إمتى إجت هيدي اللحظة اللي مثل ما بيقولوا you turn the switch إنه لا خلص this is what I want this is what I will do and there is no one who will ever stop me from achieving what I'm gonna do regardless of the situation.
100% ليك حقلك أبداً لا I don't think that you know it since you are young since you're like 50 you don't have to know it since you're 16 15 لا مثل ما قلت لك we are really embedded in a system that's been so concretely founded that they do not build entrepreneurs, they do not build leaders, they build employees.
Can you elaborate more of يعني كيف بدي أقول لك بالمدرسة أو بالجامعة ما بيعلمونا نحن الفاينانس ما بيعلمونا كيف تعمل مصاري كيف تو سيف شو الانترست شو التاكس.
لا كمل لك البوينت ما بالمدرسة أوكي يعني أول شيء لا بيعطوك none of the subjects that you potentially will join in university finance marketing man شو engineering يعني you don't what's architecture. We don't see any of them in school and then you need to pick a topic, go to university. Okay, you've done that. In university, unless you take some type of entrepreneurship course, they do not teach you how to be an entrepreneur or to be a leader. You know?
They teach you how to be an employee more than
exactly.
how to be a leader.
فهيدا to get back to your point, أنا بالجامعة ما كنت عارفين بدي فوت entrepreneurship. I didn't know this is the path that I wanted to follow, the path that I wanted to be in, and more importantly, I was thinking of money. You know, how am I going to make money? Which is very important. Money is a fundamental aspect in life. But what I've realized after I've worked for 3 years, I was in the system. And when I was in university, I'll get back to that point, but when I was in university, I decided I want to be a consultant. I didn't say I want to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to join consulting. I worked really hard. I trained so many hours for interview cases, and I did that. I succeeded. I got into consulting. And then after being in it for 3 years, I wouldn't say I hate consulting or I hate the corporate life. No, but I want to follow my passion. I want to follow what I love. And I decided that, I believe, maybe like a year ago. Maybe a year ago, I was like, Walid, give it a shot. Why not? But I've been planning to reach where I want to reach.
That's a very important word to use, planning.
I've been planning.
And you always have to have a plan
100%.
in order to know where you're going.
100%. 100%.
Do you think that had to do with the people you were surrounded with in uni? Like, for example, speaking of consultancy. فأنت شفت هيدا عم بيعمل consultant وهيدا عم تعمل consultant وهيدا عم بقدم على هالشركة وهذا عم بقدم على الشركة. فخلص أنا I wanna fit in مثل حيلا شيء. مثل لما واحد يبلش تدخين، لما واحد يبلش سهر، وقت واحد يبلش حيلا شيء بشوف الجروب شو عم بيعمل بجرب يلحق. وmind you it can be on a positive note.
مزبوط.
عرفت؟
مزبوط. Tell me who you hang out with, I'll tell you who you are.
كل ما انت 10 كلك كل ما هيدي بس كمان لنرجع نقول انه نحن عم نجرب نوصل رساله
للكل
بالانجلش وبالعربي.
Exactly.
فاكيد انا بوزيتيف نوت وانا نيجاتيف نوت انه العالم القصص اللي عم تعملها حواليك هي اللي حتاثر فيك وايفنتشلي. هيدا هو المسكونسبشن اللي بدي احكي عنه اكثر، انه حتى لو هالعالم مثلا عم تجرب تقول لك شيء مع انه هن يمكن فاكرينه مزبوط من قلبهم، يمكن انت تكون غامض اول فتره انه لا هن معهم حق. بس كمان نرجع بنقول الكلمه اللي كثير مهمه اللي استعملناها اول شيء هي نجرب.
مزبوط.
فانت جربت وهلا عم بتقرر.
مزبوط. يعني بس لازيد شغله على قصه العالم. يعني again أنا it's very important to surround yourself with ambitious, successful people. It could be on a corporate level, it could be on an entrepreneurship level, it could be any. لا بالجامعة again, it's the system. You're in a system, and I always emphasize that because that's the way. I'm gonna say the system has incorporated it in our minds. You know, we need to follow this path. And yes, during university, many people told us, okay, consulting is a very entry-level job because you'll be exposed to so many different fields, so many different industries, which is good. It's a very good, Anna, I would say it's a very good start, you know? But after building it and after seeing many people, and now my surroundings, I have more and more entrepreneurs. I know an entrepreneur that's starting her own rental yacht club where people can go rent out.
That feeds off my point. اللي هي إنه
the people that you surround. I have another friend that actually started his own agency. He's a big superstar. And we can talk about him later.
نجيبه على البودكاست.
إن شاء الله definitely لو بيجي على البودكاست يعني بكون ممتاز. There's many people وبعدين you get exposed more every day to different people and different environments. You see they're starting off their own thing, they're passionate about it, and I think if you follow your passion you succeed. People definitely have that effect on you. يعني I don't say don't hang out with people that are corporate, don't hang out with people that are entrepreneurs. What you need to do is just surround yourself with successful and ambitious people because they do affect you.
Get the best out of the both worlds.
100%.
Speaking of people in general, so انت كنت عم تقول انه هلا مثلا انت هون بدبي تعرفت على entrepreneurs، تعرفت على عالم they're doing their own thing. بس if we take a step back وبتشوف انت العالم تخرجت معهم من AUB on a smaller scale، في عالم بلشوا ياخدوا هيدا الطريق انه لا انا بدي اعمل entrepreneur. mind you بدي ارجع اعيد سؤالي، من العالم اللي تخرجت معهم انت، مش هلا اللي عم تتعرف عليهم بدبي وعندهم their own background، من الباكجراوند من العالم كنت معهم AUB اللي كنت تظهر معهم AUB، في عالم بلشت تفكر هيك بعد سنه سنتين ثلاثه من doing corporate work، او انه لا في انت واكيد هلا في عالم ما بدنا to generalize بس انه إذا you want to put it in a percentage base، قد ايه بتقول percent عالم بعدهم بشغلهم الكوربريت، وقد ايه بتقول عالم بلشت اتليست يمكن ما تركوا شغلهم؟ لأنه انتبه ما بدنا نقول شيء فالس على البودكاست.
أكيد.
انت بعد ما تركت شغلك انت عم تترك شغلك. ففي عالم بلشت هيك تفكر او بتحس لا لانه ما عم بيجون الاكسبوجر او ما عندهم هيدا الهنجر ليشوفوا other resources اللي يخليهم معقول يقتنعوا مثل انت قلت جيري في او غيره.
definitely لأول بارت من سؤالك، وقت تخرجت من AUB بقول لك maybe I knew 4 or 5 people out of the entire, and I knew lots of people in AUB. I knew most of my grade. So I'm 5 أشخاص بركي that followed their own startup, and I don't blame them. It's not easy, you know. You really need the fundamentals. Again, part of it is the system, I would say, and the other part of it's really not easy. It's you need to have that mindset developed for a bit of time in order to be able to go ahead into that journey. يعني it's very difficult to get it in high school because there's literally no way of the school providing it to yourself unless you are super curious since you're in school. And be careful, it's not wrong if you're not, because like this is how it is. This is
90% من العالم.
This is how they teach you. This is how me as well. So like تتخرج من الجامعة وفوت دغري ستارت اب. No, I didn't see it a lot. To be honest, it's very rare. It's very rare. هلا في عالم that are developing this mentality more and more and getting convinced that they need to follow their passion. But again, it's scary, it's daunting, it's a big change. Us as human beings, we're not very adapt to change. Your body and your mind will reject it naturally. You want to stay in your comfort zone. So like so like when you think of it that way, it's difficult to like get yourself out of this mentality into the mentality of risks and chaos, because that's what a startup is about. You know, when you want to follow your passion, it won't come easy. Sometimes it does, and I really hope it does for us, for many people out there. But unfortunately, this is how the system is built. They have huge roadblocks in your way that prevent you from succeeding and following your passion. Nonetheless, if you keep on working hard, you keep on pushing, and you move away from the obstacles, okay, you will be able to get there. Let me tell you how you should view it. Imagine you're a skier, you know, you ski between those trees. If all you're gonna think about is those trees that you're going to hit left and right, you're gonna eventually hit it. You shouldn't follow it. You should follow the path. They look at the snow. They look where the snow is going.
You attract what you think.
Exactly. You attract what you think. So you're following the path of snow. You're seeing where you want to go. And that's the way you need to apply it in entrepreneurship. You see the path clearly. Don't overthink the obstacles. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be challenges.
Like anything in life.
Like anything in life. Like, of course.
Yeah. Like very well pinpointed. I really like the flow of how you answered the question. And you said, no, it's not easy. And it's a hard road and it's lonely. لأنه when you're an entrepreneur,
it is.
حتكون لحالك. أو يمكن معك واحد اثنين بس it's lonely لأنه ما عندك income. بدك وقت, بدك hard work, بدك تكون patient. But the thing is, إنه do you think, would you label this, it not being easy as the number one reason people settle for their jobs?
Is it the number one reason? Again, it's subjective. It is a big factor. That's one. But I think another very important factor out there is that their mind is not crafted in a way where it's like, you can do this. It's crafted in a way that like, this path is very difficult for you to go ahead with. I know, خلاص, just like follow the normal system that's built there for you.
I get it. Yes, but we are here to add value. What would one advice you would give for people? Because I don't believe like we were born with this انه انا مثلا خلقت وعندي هيدا الادفانتج عليك.
لا أبدا.
We were born كلنا نفس الشيء.
أبدا.
بس في certain experiences, for example, انا مرقت فيها انت ما مرقت فيها, I don't have maybe the enough knowledge بس to like practice or to execute شو بدك تعمل later on in life. Basically, what would one advice you would give مثلا for someone who doesn't have an idea at all about entrepreneurship to start, where should someone start إذا هو عن جد بده to pursue his passion?
Of course. One advice that I give and I strongly recommend, read, watch YouTube videos. You can learn so much from YouTube. Read, there's so many books out there that can benefit you so much. Expose yourself to this different industries. Try different activities. Understand what's content development. Understand what's advertising, understand what's an agency, understand what's a podcast. There's so many things in life.
What's a podcast?
Technically what we're doing right now. So like, and it could come in different forms. This is one way of doing it. People do it in different ways as well. So like, you really need to try and put yourself out there. This is what I would suggest, because if you stay stuck to your corporate life and like just follow, again, if you're passionate,
and that's normal. That's completely normal.
If you're passionate about it, stay. Like, again, if you're passionate about it, do not change. Like, khalas, if you really love it from the bottom of your heart and believe in it, you stay. But like, if you're that type of person that's like me and you, that want to test the waters, other places, and try to follow our passion, try to follow the journey that we believe we're destined to explore. That's the number one advice. Please explore. Please explore. Look at
your options.
There's so many things.
There's
so many things in life. Like, there's drop shipping you can do. You can look into NFTs. There's so many solutions in NFTs these days. Content creation, man, on TikTok, on Instagram, huge platforms that were not here. These platforms were not available if you go back maybe 2 decades ago. All of them were not here. There's tremendous opportunities. You just need to explore.
Great, Walid. That brings me to my second point, and that is, what do you think is the trade-off between exploring the advice you just gave, and people feeling judged or afraid of being judged by others? And no, why do you want to pursue this? It's a waste of your time. You can't be in this country per se. لأنه هلا مثلا حسب we're talking on a smaller scale, which is Dubai. إنه لا, إنه if you leave your job, you have this I don't know how many months notice, and then you'll have to leave. إنه what's the trade-off? Is it worth? You think is it like worth having this procedure of okay, هلا I want to start my own thing. Where should I start? It's hard. It's lonely. I need capital. Please emphasize more about capital. Against انه trade off of انه لا انه هيدا مثلا حيقول عني انه عم فكر غلط او انه مثلا خلص ما انت مبسوط بشغلك.
خليني اقول لك شيء. انا since I was young انا صغير I was this type of extrovert person that never really cared what people thought. That's me, and I think also people need to implement that. Not like 0%, but that shouldn't stop you from doing what you want to do. Like, you don't, like, people will talk. Whatever you do, people will always talk. People will always have comments.
We're all programmed to do this.
But you will always have critics. Michael Jordan has his critics. One of the best of all time in NBA. He has his critics. People criticize him. Like, what Elon Musk, people criticize him. Like, there's always going to be people that talk. You need to be able to overcome that, because if you're going to think of every single detail, what this guy's going to say, what this guy's going to say, what my friend's going to say, what are going to be the thoughts of my cousin when he watches it, what are going to be the thoughts of my girlfriend when she watches, like, like, these are elements that you need to really try to not let it overcome you.
You should embrace it.
Embrace it, exactly. That's the right word. For me, whenever I get criticized, it pushes me more.
Is it the fuel to your engine?
It fuels my engine.
Okay.
Like crazy.
La.
Like, people tell me,
said.
You're not gonna do it. Okay, you're gonna fail.
This is the fire
I'm
that.
gonna fucking prove you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking succeed. And you're gonna watch.
No. I really like your answer, Walid. And I feel like once you find your passion, you shouldn't think only يعني بس لازم تفكر ب your passion.
Do it, push.
واضحة. وانت مثلا speaking of passion, speaking of deciding whether you have to listen to others or not to listen to others. The first book I read is called The Subtle Art Not to Give a Fuck. That was the first book I read, and I really like the author, Mark Manson. He says something that I still think of to this day. هو إنه نحن as people we're biologically wired to always have negative thoughts. 100%. Whatever we do. يعني أنا هلا إذا بعطيك $100 مليون حتنبسط فيها أول يومين 3 جمعتين سنة سنتين. بعدين خلص your worries والقصص اللي حتنق عليها حتصير إنه ليه ما جابوا لي أكل على البرايفت جت؟ لأنه خلص نحن كعالم لازم إنه نخلق مشكلة. Once you're self-aware of this and you embrace it, هونيك خلص كأن في glitch وصار ل your advantage. صار be your arsenal. ساعتها you look at things from a third perspective which is essential nowadays especially if you want to succeed. لأنه مثل ما قلت قبل و you highlighted إنه بحيالله بزنس بدك تعمله بحيالله venture بدك تفتح. هلا by the way نسينا نحكي عن your ventures.
لا
هاي آخر شيء بنحكيها.
نحكي شوي اليوم نحكي شوي.
إيه نسيت شو كنت عم بقول. basically عم
كنت عم تقلي على الكوت.
so basically it's very important بس إنه تاخد بعين الاعتبار إنه كل شيء أنت بدك تعمله ضروري يصير في negative feedback, negative comments.
The mind of the person on its own is wired to provide negative thoughts to your head. ما تزيد عليهم. يعني أول شيء you have to battle with yourself to keep up with these positive let's say these positive thoughts that you need to implement in your head. You need to battle with yourself. لا تحط هالpositive thoughts براسك لأن مثل ما قلنا your brain دايما حيعطيك negative فما بدك تزيد عليهم مع العالم اللي جاي عم تحكي عليك وكمان تحط negative عليك فأنه push yourself, be confident of what you're doing. You shouldn't care about what people say. You shouldn't care. You should just believe in yourself.
100%. لا I completely agree. و speaking of believing in yourself, what are the 3 traits, if it's put in the right frame of the sentence, what are the 3 traits you would look at if you're hiring someone, or let's not use the word hiring. We're not here to
hiring, working, partnering.
Yeah, I don't want to use these corporate terms.
Partnering, exactly.
Partnering with someone. What are 3 things you would look at other than skills?
100%. أول شيء كتير مهم when I'm working with someone تكون disciplined, committed, and very important honesty. And honesty is very important because whenever you work in any space, you need to make sure you and your partner can communicate with each other in order to reach the goals that you have set for yourselves. You guys need to talk with each other. أنا بالنسبة لي أحكي كل شيء براسك لأن حتى لو كان شيء potentially ما إنه متفق عليه شريكي ما بيأثر. خلينا نحكي بالموضوع. Be honest. في عالم they hold back sometimes. عارف they hold back مشان إنه ما يزعلوا التانيين. لا don't hold back. قول كل شيء ببالك أنا friendly, أكيد professional manner, respectfully. That's how you need to do it. وبعدين مثل ما قلت discipline is very important. بدي أشوف واحد ما فيك يعني committed وواحدة الثانية committed بس أنه disciplined أول شيء أنه because you want to be able يعني اثنيناتكم تقدروا تحطوا ظهركم على بعضكم. عارف كيف يعني you can support each other.
They're all linked لأنه لو تحطوا ظهركم على بعض شيء يعني you're implementing honesty.
exactly ده توثق فيه. وبآخر واحد commitment أنه خلص أنا معك بده ينجح البروجكت. ليه؟ لأن commitment كتير مهمة لأن مثل ما قلت مش sometimes you will face 100%
تحصيل حاصل.
لا you will face challenges 1,000,000%. يعني هيدا الشيء
تحصيل حاصل.
هيدا الشيء you need your partner to be committed. يعني no matter how big the challenges are, okay, you guys will overcome them together. فهول 3 قصص أنا بعتقد كتير مهمين when you want to partner with someone or venture with someone in any type of project or startup. يعني كيف أنا وياك عم يعني
I think that's a good example.
إيه لأنه اثنيناتنا passionate, اثنيناتنا بنعرف قد إيه discipline, اثنيناتنا بنعرف قد إيه committed, ونحن كتير صريحين لبعض. شو ما ببالنا نحكي لبعض.
وليد هاي كيف فينا نظبطها؟ ماهر شو بتقول اعمل؟
ماهر هيدي ما عجبتني. انا بالنسبه لي ما عجبتني هيدي. يعني بقول لك يا بصراحه انت ماشي ما عجبك تقول لي وليد انا بالنسبه لي ما بعتقد it's the best way to go forward. Let's rethink about it. ولازم تشتغل مع واحد that is accepts this kind of conversation.
صح.
عارف كيف؟ لأن بالشغل وين ما بتشتغل في frictions. بتشتغل entrepreneurship أو corporate life يعني.
100%. فالفكرة إنه لازم نحط our ego aside at least for the business part of it ونشوف القصص from a third perspective. That's why إنه maybe we can refer back to our marketing team ونشوف different point of views. لأنه بالنهاية نحن ما عم نجرب نعمل شيء لأنا أنجح أو لأنت تنجح ولا لاتنيناتنا ننجح. لنعمل impact. لنعمل impact change starts within.
هيدا impact كتير.
فأنا لغير وكون أكتر متسامح ونفس الشيء معك ومع التيم اللي نشتغل معه. فهيدا step 1. step 2 لنقدر نحن نقتنع بالشغل. لأنه رح أعطيك example. لو في superiority وأنا for example أعلى منك بproject عم نعمله وانت قلت لي مثلا انت كنت كتير مقتنع انه مثلا ماهر انا ماني شايف هيدا الموضوع we should implement، وانا اخذتها انه لا، انه انت شو عرفك انا عندي experience اكثر، واستعملنا طريقتي بلا 1% of compromising انت مثلا your input. كيف انت بدك تطلع هالبودكاست او كيف انت بدك تروح تعمل pitch بأني other business، برجع بقول حتقول ventures تبعك we're gonna reach this، بس anyways كيف حتعمل هالشي وانت عم تقدم شيء منك مقتنع فيه؟
مزبوط.
صح؟ اذا انت مقتنع you're not gonna sell it، او ما
مزبوط.
حتعطي value لهالبودكاست، كيف العالم حتاخد value للبودكاست؟ ف I think that's very important to highlight.
اكيد بوافق معك مليون بالمية حكيك كمان.
وليد بدي اعتذر منك، ما حنقدر نحكي عن your ventures.
لا حرام روحت عليهم.
لا خلص next episode,
for sure.
this is the first of many. As I said أول episode we're so excited to
Definitely.
be here. I hope this episode was valuable for you guys. This is episode 1. Hopefully we're here to stay. And
For sure.
For sure, no. That's like 100%. I'm so happy again, and I appreciate the hard work you've been putting with me.
Definitely.
And I want to take this to a higher level through the name of the podcast, which is Higher Take.
100%.
So make sure, guys, you have a higher take on life, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Okay.
Walid.
Yeah, to conclude it also, it's been an amazing episode. I hope the main hope that I have is we benefited the audience.
Yeah.
We gave them more of a perception, another view on life, another view of work, of entrepreneurship. That's what I hope that we have achieved today. And again, I think we did okay. I hope. Let's hear from them. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. If there's any suggestion, subscribe, definitely. And if there's any topics you'd like us to go through, we'd more than love to look into it. So thank you again, and for sure, have a higher take in life.
بس وليد بدي أسألك سؤال قبل ما نخلص. في شي مرة تخيلت معقول تقول سبسكرايب ليوتيوب شانل بس هيك؟
صراحة لا بس
لا عن جد we need it. هلا بلاش افهم creators وقت يقولوا سبسكرايب، بس to show support لإلنا. و I think that's it for the first episode. يعني يمكن ما حنوقف نحكي وليد
فينا نضلنا نحكي.